I always go back to the PED era when in 2013 when PED came in and we were watching it move through the industry and there's a lot of lessons to be learned there. And I think you brought up a very good point with the feed in particular is a lot of us went through that exercise during that time of where are sources of
Yes.
feed or ingredients coming from and what can we pull from the US rather than bringing in from an export or an import type of situation. And so I think a lot of people need to go back to that, right? Plus,
Right.
with FESMA, they should have a lot of that information already in place now, which we did not have when PED came through. So, verified suppliers and so forth. And so, even if you're not making feed on your farm, you should be able to go talk to your feed mill and be educated at the
Right.
minimum, right, as to what is going into your barns.
Correct. And, we've learned a tremendous amount of information since PED days. And it was bad that we all had to go through that because it was extremely painful and costly for people that had infected farms. But we did learn a lot from that, that feed can be a source of infection as well as the transit mechanisms. And so I think since that time, we've had the Food Safety Modernization Act come about and really look at what is the ability of feeds and pathogens to remain in feeds and how to mitigate that. But the other things that we've learned at is working together with our other organizations like the American Feed Ingredient Association, because they've got other biosecurity steps and procedures that they have outlined and covered that really help feed milling, feed distribution sites, and to ensure that their biosecurity is point on. And so that's been very helpful because, just us as the pork industry, while we cover a lot, it's so important that we all reach out to our other supporting organizations and have them involved in the conversation because it not just only impacts producers on the farm, but it impacts a lot of other people as well. And so that's so important for all of us to remember. Where it is a village, it's not just one component of that. Um, but yeah, and we've learned things like holding times. We've also worked with suppliers because a lot of our suppliers of these products have stepped up and said, look, we've got good manufacturing procedures in place. Our bagging, our manufacturing facilities are in contained, biosecure. So I think this has really had us look reflectively all up the chain to say, what are each individual piece doing and how can we do it more biosecure, safer, to ensure that we're not a problem. And that's something I think that all of us in the industry and ancillary groups have really done some hard look at.